Welcome to The Explainer. You ever wonder what makes a movie a billion-dollar blockbuster versus, well, a total box office bomb? Well, this week, we are diving deep into the global box office charts. We're going to count down the top 10 films from the absolutely staggering successes to the epic failures and really see what their financial stories tell us. Let's jump right in.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll kick things off with the films at numbers 10 through 7. Then, we'll climb the charts to the middle of the pack. And after we reveal the top 3 heavy hitters, we'll wrap it all up with a final tally to see what the big picture looks like.
All right, let's get this countdown started. You know, this first group of films is a perfect snapshot of the risks and rewards of making movies. We've got everything from some serious financial flops to a certified global blockbuster.
Kicking off our list, right at number 10 is Melania, a documentary about the former First Lady. Now, after a surprisingly strong start, this one has taken a massive tumble, dropping all the way from the number 3 spot just last week.
And wow, the financials here tell a pretty brutal story. The film cost a hefty $40 million to make, but as you can see from this chart, after 2 weeks, it's only pulled in $13.5 million worldwide. That is a huge shortfall. It's pretty clear it is just not connecting with audiences.
Yeah, and our source for this explainer, they do not pull any punches, calling it a failed and pointless film. And it really seems like audiences agree. It's got an incredibly low IMDb score of just 1.3 out of 10 from over 54,000 voters. Ouch.
Sliding in at number 9 is the film Shelter. Now, while it's earned more than Melania with a $26.7 million gross, its $50 million budget means it is still deep in the red. This is another movie that's really underperforming and has a long way to go before it even thinks about turning a profit.
You know, sometimes a film doesn't just underperform. It becomes what's known as a box office bomb. And that brings us right to number 8, The Strangers Chapter 3. In its first week, it debuted to just $3.4 million globally. And on top of that, it's been met with some largely negative reviews.
But now, oh boy, at number 7, the narrative completely flips. We are leaving all those financial struggles behind and jumping into the world of just staggering success with the sequel to Avatar. This, my friends, is a certified blockbuster.
Just look at that number. After 8 weeks, this film has pulled in over $1.4 billion worldwide. It's just a stunning reminder of how high a film can soar, and a really stark contrast to the financial disappointments we literally just saw.
Okay, we are now climbing the charts to the middle of the pack. In this section, we're going to find some established giants and a couple of brand new films that are making a pretty strong first impression at the box office.
Holding down the number 6 spot is another massive sequel, Zootopia 2. In this new adventure, we've got Judy and Nick hunting a giant snake that's terrorizing the city. It's a beloved franchise for sure, and the numbers definitely prove it.
And its success is just incredible. On a $150 million budget, Zootopia 2 has earned a colossal $1.8 billion globally. That return on investment is just phenomenal. I mean, for every single dollar they spent to make it, they've earned back 12. Unbelievable.
Breaking into the top 5, we have a new release, Dracula. But, forget what you think you know about the character. This is not a straight-up horror film. Our source notes it's actually much more of a romance, telling the tragic story of the 15th century prince who gets cursed after losing the love of his life.
So, how's it doing at the box office? Well, it was made for $50 million and brought in $33.6 million in its very first week. That's a really respectable opening. It puts it on track to be profitable, even if it's not the massive smash hit we've seen from some others. All in all, a solid start.
At number 4, we have something completely different. A concert documentary for the K-pop group Stray Kids. Now, our source material admitted a little bit of confusion about the appeal of concert films in theaters, but hey, you can't argue with the results. An impressive $18.8 million opening week.
So we've had giant sequels, we've had hit documentaries. What in the world does it take to claim one of those top 3 spots? Let's find out.
We've done it. We've reached the most anticipated part of our countdown. These are the top 3 highest-grossing films in the entire world right now. Okay, the contrast between our next 2 films is just fascinating. Claiming the number 3 spot is Erlang, a sci-fi film that proves you do not need a huge budget to succeed. It earned an incredible $34 million on a tiny $3 million budget. That's a massive return. Then, at number 2, we have Solo Mio, a Kevin James rom-com. It's a more modest but still clearly profitable success story, earning $7.2 million from a $4 million budget.
And now, only one film remains. This movie has managed to hold on to the #1 spot for a second straight week, which shows it has some real staying power with audiences all over the globe.
And here it is, the #1 film in the world is a romantic comedy about an employee and her boss's son who get stranded on a deserted island. On a $40 million budget, it's already grossed nearly $54 million in just 2 weeks, making it a definite financial hit.
So, we've counted down the top 10. Now let's kind of pull back for the big picture and see what this week's box office landscape really looks like when you put it all together.
This table just lays it all out, doesn't it? You can clearly see the billion-dollar titans like Avatar and Zootopia 2 right next to the struggling films like The Strangers. But what's really cool is how it also highlights the micro-budget success of a film like Erlang, which proves that a massive budget isn't the only way to win at the box office.
And all of this leaves us with one final question. In an industry of billion-dollar blockbusters and these tiny little low-budget hits, what really defines a film's success? Is it just pure profit? Is it rave reviews? Or maybe something else entirely? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.